Alright everyone, so let's get started. Now in today's video, I really want to do something very funky and very editorial on the eyes. I really do not know how it's going to turn out. I'm not even sure if it is going to look good, but I'm going to cross my fingers that it does work out. If not, then it'll be the adventure that counts and the learning curves. So in today's video, I am going to be creating a very funky makeup look, but I just received this palette right here. I'm dying. You're going to die when you see the colors. This is the new Oden's Eye and Angelica palette, which is named Hela. Can we talk about these colors? These colors are so freaking pretty. So I'm going to be reviewing this palette and giving you my first impressions. Another product that I am going to be trying today is this right here. So as you can see, I received this wonderful packaging from Benefit, and they just launched a Porefessionnal Lite primer. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the Porefessionnal pore filling primer, like the classic one, because my skin is so dry. Very dry. They do have a hydrating version of the Porefessionnal primer, but it's still a little bit too drying for my skin type. So this is supposed to blur refined pores for 12 hours. It's a water-based formula. Maybe I'll like it, I'm not sure. It feels weightless and breathable with a cooling sensation, and it's not comedogenic, so it's not going to block the pores, and it doesn't have any fragrance either. Alright, so let's get started with the eye makeup. So I am going to be starting with my eyes because today we're going to do something extremely funky and intense on the eyes, and I want to make sure that my complexion makeup will look flawless and won't have any fallout on the face. I'm going to be using my MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly. So I'm just going to pat this in with my finger, and I'm going to be very generous, so I'm going to pat that from my inner to my outer corner. And I'm also going to take some of that on my lower lash line, because you never know if you want to spontaneously apply lower lash eyeshadow. First, I'm going to be using a liner. So this is the Illuminati gel paint liner in the shade Electric Blue. I got this in a BoxyCharm and I've been really liking it. I really have never heard of this brand before, and even when I tried to look them up on Instagram, I couldn't find anything. So I'm not really sure what brand this is, but you can take any blue liners you have, and this pencil is going to act as a base for the colors we're going to be applying on top, so that the colors will be much richer and intense. So we're going to start by working on the outer line, because we're going to be doing a lot of cleaning up, so I want to make sure that I get the perfect outer line before doing the lines on the mobile lid. So I'm going to start with this pen and drag this pen from very tightly on my lower lash line, and I'm going to wing it out, kind of like a normal wing liner. And I am going to be taking this quite far on the outer corner. And then from a little bit higher than my crease, I'm going to connect both lines in a curvy shape. And it's not going to go all the way into the center of the eye. I'm going to stop it halfway there. And I'm going to be taking a very compact flat brush. With this brush, I'm going to blend the blue liner outwards. So I'm going to do some very small tapping motions and start to blend that liner out. And now that we have the blending, I'm just going to go back in with that blue liner and intensify that shade a little bit more. And the pencil on my lower lash line is not going to go all the way towards my inner corners. It's going to stop halfway there. So next, I'm going to be taking the shade called, how do you say that? Oh my god. Ouroboros. I'm not sure how you say that with an English accent, but I'm going to say it in French. Ouroboros. And I'm taking that with my JH42 brush, which is a very small tapping brush. And I'm going to start and pack that on top of the blue. So I'm just slightly tapping the shade very closely on the blue. I think I need to pack that with an even tighter brush, so I'm going to take my beveled brush and I'm really going to pack this shade on. And then with my JH40 brush, which is a tight blending brush, I'm going to go in the shade called Moss, which is a really nice light green shade. And I'm going to be blending that on the perimeter of where we just applied that deep green shade, just to blend that deep green shade a little bit more. Yeah, that's really nice. I like the fact that we used the blue liner underneath, just so that it gives some more like dimension. And I'm taking that really far towards my temples because I want to keep a lot of space for what we're going to be doing on the lid. And next, just because I want to give even more dimension to this look, with my angled brush, I'm going to go in the shade Sooth, which is the deep purple shade. And I'm going to dab that at the very, very base of the line. And going back in with my JH42 brush, I'm going to blend that purple out. Next, I'm going to take some more of my MAC Pro Longwear paint pot with a flat brush, and I'm going to use that to clean the shape up. I really want the lines to be extra crisp. Alright, so now this is the scary part. I'm going to be taking the blue liner, and I'm going to recreate the same shape we just created, but closer towards the mobile lid. So now that we created that line following the one in our crease, from the outer part of the line, I'm going to start and bring this towards the center of the eye, but it's not going to touch my lash line. It's going to stay a few millimeters over my lash line, and I'm going to take that to my inner corners. So now we're going to do all the blending, and then we're going to do the cleaning up. So I'm going to take the same compact brush, and I'm going to be blending that blue liner outwards, exactly like we did the outer corner. I do feel like I went a little bit too far with the blue liner, so with a Q-tip I'm just going to remove some of the liner. And now I am going to be recreating all the steps we made on the outer corner. So I'm going to go in with my JH42 brush and pack that green shade on top of the blue liner. And then with my JH40 brush and the light green shade, I'm going to be blending that green shade out, doing very small circular motions. And I'm being very careful not to touch the line on the outer corner. I want to keep them separate. And if you feel like you went too far, you can always go back in with the Q-tip and remove some of the eyeshadow. And this time with a very, very tiny brush, I'm going to be taking that purple deep shade, and I'm going to place that at the very, very base of the blue liner. And going back in with my JH40 brush and blending that purple shade out just a little. So now this is the very fun part where we take some micellar water. I'm using the NYX micellar water with a Q-tip. Always remove the excess on the back of the hand, because if you don't, the micellar water is just going to run everywhere and it's going to ruin your makeup. So remove the excess on the back of the hand. Before I do any more cleaning up, I'm going to finish my inner corners. So I'm going to do the exact same step, but the shape is going to top from the line on our inner corners, and it's going to go directly to the point of the inner corner. And then we just have to do the exact same steps, but this time I am going to be using a lot more precise brushes. So with the detailed brush from Morphe, I'm going to go in that green shade. I'm going to dab it on top of the blue. And then with my JH42 brush, this time I'm going to take the light green shade and blend these edges. And then with my very, very precise brush, I'll be tapping that at the very base of the line. And once again with my Q-tip and some micellar water, and I'm going to be cleaning my inner corners. Actually, I think I'm just going to remove some of the swab so that we have a even tighter, precise Q-tip. Alright, so now we're going to be taking some more of our MAC Pro Longwear paint pot with a flat brush, and I'm going to be cleaning every area. And I think I want to take that second line a little bit closer to my inner corners. So using that very small, precise brush and the green shade, I'm just going to tap and very carefully place this in the crease. And I'm going to take some of that purple with the same brush and apply a little bit of that also, but not too much. So I'm just going to apply some mascara. I'm going to be using the They're Real Magnet Mascara from Benefit. I really, really love this mascara. It's really good. I'm going to do a generous coat. And next we're going to be trying this right here. So this is the Porefessionnal Lite Primer. It smells nice. Oh my god, the texture is so interesting. It feels really, really silicone-y, but it's like a really interesting texture. It's not like the Porefessionnal, like it's a lot thicker. I'm just going to pat that in the center of my face and also around my chin because I do tend to have a lot of skin texture. The feeling of this is so interesting. When they say it's cooling, it really is cooling. There's a really cool effect on my face right now. It feels like I have nothing on my face. Like I applied a little bit too much, but like it all blended into the skin. I really like the texture of that. But we'll have to see how my foundation applies on top. And for my foundation, I'm going to be using my Milk Flex foundation in the shade Shell. And with my Rare Beauty foundation brush, I'm just going to buff everything in. I think I really like this primer. My skin right now looks really nice and it does not look dry. Next, I'm going to be taking my Rare Beauty concealer and I'm just going to apply some of that under my eyes and where I do tend to have some redness. And with my foundation brush, I'm going to pat this into the skin. It's really weird because usually this concealer is super lightweight and very easy to apply, but I feel like the primer is kind of absorbing all the moisture from all the product I applied on top. Almost like I applied a setting powder under my foundation, but it's actually not breaking the foundation and the concealer up. So I'm not sure how I feel about it so far. Next, I'm going to be using this. I've been using this on a regular basis. Usually I'm the type of person to use a powder bronzer on like my everyday makeup looks. But this, I think I found a new favorite bronzer because this is really, really nice. This is the Rare Beauty bronzer stick in the shade Power Boost. And it's so natural, it blends beautifully. You can apply this on top of anything. I really, really enjoy it. And I'm going to be grabbing that with a powder brush. I'm just going to take some of that on that brush. And I'm going to be dabbing that on the perimeter of my face. For my blush, I think I also want to reuse this. This is the blush, the liquid blush from Rare Beauty in the shade Hope. I'm going to take some of that on the back of my hand. I'm going to grab some of that blush with my duo fiber brush from Yves Rocher. And I'm just going to be dabbing that on my cheeks. And then for my highlight, I definitely need to use this one. This is the Norn's Mesmerizer in the shade Web of Destiny. And I'm going to take that with a fluffy highlight brush. And I'm just going to dab that on the very high points of my cheeks. And then just to remove some of my skin texture, I'm going to take some of my Rare Beauty powder. This is their setting powder in the shade Light. And I'm also going to be taking their powder brush. And I'll just apply a tiny little bit of this powder on my under eyes and also around my chin where I do tend to have some skin texture. And now I definitely need to fill my brows. So I'm going to be taking the Precisely My Brow pencil in the shade number 3. And then I'm going to be fluffing my brows up using the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. Now for my lips, I kind of want to try something because I've been seeing a lot of people using this pencil right here as like a lip contour type of thing. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Endless Cacao, and I'm actually going to be drawing that around my lips and then blending it out to give like a more fluffy and bigger lip effect. So I'm going to take some of that under my lip right here. And I'm going to be blending this downwards. I'm also going to do the same on the sides of the lips, because I guess you would want to make the Cupid's bow area more pop, more pronounced. So you would apply a brown pencil on the areas where the lip is more backwards. So for example, under the lip, like on the sides right here. And I'm just going in with my finger and blending those edges. And now I'm just going to hydrate my lips using the 101 ointment from Lano Lips. I'm going to pat that in the center of my lips. It's like a really hydrating product you can use like as a highlight. You can use this on your cuticles, you can use this on the lips. It's a really practical product. And then I really want to use this. This is the Fenty Cream Lip Gloss in the shade Honey Waffles. I'm still not sure how I feel about this shade. On other people, this looks freaking amazing, but I feel like on me, it looks weird. Let me know in the comments below if it looks weird. But I'm just going to be applying a little bit of that in the center of my lips. I'm not sure about this lip shade, but I'm going to stick with it. Alright, so this is the finished look. I'm absolutely obsessed with this makeup look. I feel like it's really editorial, it's very interesting. To talk about this palette, to give you my final thoughts, amazing, beautiful. I don't need to say anything else. I already know that I love Oden's Eye eyeshadow. Honestly, they're one of the best eyeshadows I've ever freaking tried. The mattes, the shimmers are perfect. The mattes, they're so blendable and so buildable. The shimmers are so shimmery, their glitters are so glittery, everything is super intense. They have so many palettes, so many shades. Their highlights are beautiful. I have nothing bad to say about Oden's Eye other than they're amazing and you should definitely give them a try. This, I'm kind of liking it. I'm really not mad. My skin looks gorgeous, and this, the feeling of this is so interesting. It's so thick, it feels really silicone-y, but when you apply it, it just disappears and leaves a really cooling effect. And my skin right now looks beautiful. I think I would recommend this, but I will have to use this more often to have like a full opinion on this product, but so far so good. So for today's secret emoji, let's do the snake, because I don't know, this kind of looks like a snake. But yeah, so put the snake in the comment section down below, and that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and you can also subscribe to my channel. I put up new videos every single Mondays, so subscribe so that you don't miss any of the makeup Mondays. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.